Okay, so you wanted to hear how this works, and I'm going to show you. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm just going to walk you through my site because it's all there. If you click on See Plans, it drops you down to the plans. So the reason I'm able to offer this super low fee is because I'm basically cutting meetings out of the equation. It takes 5 hours of meetings to do 1 hour of design. Where I figured out a way to make meetings irrelevant, which I'll walk you through in a minute. Also, there's no contract, so this is all just through Stripe, where you can pause or cancel your account anytime. So unlimited design for you, this is perfect because you have multiple brands. In the past, when we worked together, every time you have a new brand come on, we have to do a whole new contract, and it's tedious because you're starting new things all the time. With unlimited design, there's no limits to the brand. So if you start a new project tomorrow, you can start requesting assets for that project. One seat means you are the only team member I'll be working with at this rate. This one allows you to have 5 seats. If you have a social media manager, a marketing manager, and other people giving feedback, more seats would be needed. And then at some point, there's just unlimited seats. And then active requests. So let me get into that. So once you subscribe, you will get a Trello board. This Start Here section will tell you how to use the board. It'll explain what I'm about to explain now. It'll tell you how to submit a request. Here will be all of your design files for your brand or multiple brands. Any existing assets you already have that you want me to know about, you put those here. That would be like your brand guidelines, your website, your logo, social media pages, any image libraries you may have, any presentation templates you have. You can manage your subscription here. There'll be a link to your subscription page where you can pause or cancel. So your backlog. So let's say you need a new logo, new homepage, new about page. So you just start making a list of things you need. And then you can go in here and give more detail and tell me all kinds of stuff about it. And when you're ready, you're like, okay, I've got these 3 projects. What's the one I want Rahul to work on first? Okay, so you move that here to your current request. So your current request, you're allowed. So here, this one active request, that is what's allowed here. If you add too many, it'll highlight yellow and ask you to take one off. Once it's in here, within 2 business days, I will post a link and message you and say, hey, I have something for you to review. You're going to look at it. You're going to either give me feedback or you're just going to approve it. If you're going to approve it, you just move it over here to approve designs, and then you slide something new over. If that's not what happens, you say, okay, I need a change. I'll get the note to change things, and I'll make the changes, post a new version, and we'll go back and forth with that unlimited. As many changes as you need to be happy, you get all those changes. And then when you're done, you approve it and move something new over. So that's the basic flow. What I'm explaining is the startup plan. That's 1 seat, 1 active request. If you're at a higher plan, you would have 2 active requests. It means I can handle 2 projects concurrently, and you can have multiple people in the group. Multiple people can give feedback and things like that. Does that answer your questions, or is there anything else you're curious about?
In my case, there are assets we need to create for the launch. So there's going to be a photo shoot that's going to be done, and then using all those pictures, we need to pick and create, quote unquote, call it the poster or the marketing asset that we're going to be using, but there's going to be multiple of them. So does that qualify for one project or multiple projects?
Yeah, that's one. Just creating posters. Just say, hey, I need 5 posters.
But let's say the marketing assets are going to be posters, but they might be used also for social media purposes. So all of that falls onto one ask.
Maybe we would start with the posters, get that locked in, and then say, create social posts from approved posters. As far as breaking up the projects, I'm not expecting you to break up the projects at all. You can make one card that just says, I need a whole launch campaign for this. Here's the pictures we're going to be working with. Here's some of our
Mm-hmm.
thoughts. And then I'll say, great, that's a ton of work. I can't do that in 2 business days, but I'll be delivering pieces as we go. It'll be on me to break that up.
And then at that point, though, if it does qualify for a multitask project, you would just let me know. I want to make sure that on both sides, if we have multiple assets to create, that whatever fee we are associating that to is clear from the start, and that if ever there's extra money that's needed for that specific project, that we can highlight that so we start another project right off the bat, since everything's going to be all done at once.
The big purpose of these different active requests is if you're going through a launch and you need a lot of assets developed concurrently,
Yeah.
it'd be better to do something with more active requests so that work on the poster campaign, simultaneously working on the website and simultaneously working on whatever else.
So I can break them down by category, basically. Like you just said, if we say, just for the sake of talking, there's the website assets, there's the physical in people's face marketing campaign we're going to be doing, and the marketing campaign online through social media.
The pricing is more like Netflix. It's here's what you're paying per month. You can watch as many movies as you can pack into this Trello system. So let's just say I make a new about page and you just approve it right away. Great. So then you just move in the next thing and you approve it right away. Things get stuck in the current request area when there's lots of revisions. So the sooner we get through that, the better. If I need 10 other things this month, I don't have the luxury to make 30 rounds of changes on one asset. You get to a comfortable place for something like a new website. Like a homepage I can do in 2 days. An entire site build takes time. Each page is a task. So that would take time. And then there's revisions, and then there's Q&A and all that kind of stuff. I'm building sites in Framer. So I'm building in a design environment that goes live immediately. There's no design phase, then programming phase. It's all in one piece.
So website construction could indeed fall into a task. At the end of the day, we would have all the assets anyways. That's why I like this formula, because we would have everything that we've built, and that makes sense to transfer it also, and we wouldn't go too full out right off the bat. If
you're doing a full launch and you want a website, I would definitely get the plan that has at least 2 active projects, because the website's going to require time to build and lots of rounds of revisions and Q&A. You're going to need to look at it. We're going to keep finding little errors on the mobile version and stuff like that. So that one needs some space to get right.
Absolutely.
And then while that's happening, you can have a separate request that's just cranking out assets and social media posts and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. That's good. I appreciate that, because it gives me a way to put the milestone down and to bring that to my team so we can pick and choose what's really the most important thing to attack.
Totally.
So yeah, it's good.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's great. It's going to put you in the loop of everything, and then it makes everything very clear budget-wise. It's going to be very proactive as a method.
The big challenge from our past, it's 1 month it's like this, 1 month it's like this, and it's very unstable. Now it's okay. We know what we're doing. We know what the investment is every month, and it's better for everyone.
And I think it's good to build on what we're going to be doing. We're going to be able to keep using what we started with for project 1 and 2, but once we start the campaign for airports and whatsoever, we want to start using the assets we already created and just fine-tune them instead of starting from scratch. I think it's a good way to get organized as well for the future.
And once the Trello board's built out, it's going to be really cool, because you'll get to see everything that's approved. There'll be a file library with all the assets, and it'll be really organized.
Great.
Any other questions?
No, pretty straightforward.
Okay, cool. So when you're ready, you just go to the site, you click subscribe.
Let's do this. Sounds good. Thank you so much.